Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach the task controller. We have to open up the task controller. We already created in our last video. Now, here first we have to add the required annotations. So back to my employee controller. These are the annotations. I just copy it and paste it over here. Right? I have written this all. We don't need to return one by again. Okay, you just copy and paste it, so you don't write again, right? So the same thing here. We have to change the URL as here. This is the API version task. That's the thing you have to write. That's the thing you have to write. After that, what you're going to do is we have to do another thing is we have to create the function. First, we have to create the function. So function I'm going to create as public, you have to write string, you have to create a string, save task, you have to write save task, you have to write task. After that, we have to write over here request body task save DTO, task save DTO, open and close bracket. Right. Now here, when the request is coming from the DTO front end, it passing to the DTO, save DTO. It is coming to the our controller over here. Right? Controller will be passing to the service. We already learned the Spring Boot layer architecture. So here we have to passing to the service. The data we are passing to the controller to service. So we have to auto where here you have to write it over here. You have to auto where what the things service task. Here this thing task service task service. The task service object. You have to create task service object over here. Right. That's the thing you have to write. Okay, that's the thing we have to write it. Okay, the same thing you have to write it over here as well. So you have to write it as source of private. That's it. Right. Now what you're going to do is here I'm going to type string when the task get added. I want to retrieve the particular task ID. So we have right here I'm going to receive the task ID. What's the task ID? We are retrieving that particular task. So you write the task, you have to pass into the task, this task service dot, you have to create the method in the task service task at task. Right. Now here we have to copy this, you have to paste it over here. That's the thing you have to write. Okay, when the request is coming from the front end, passing to the DTO passing the controller passing to the service which has a method at task. So select over here, create the method at task. Click on this. You have to create the method at task. So here, interface the task method has been created successfully. Now we have go to task implementations over here. Here what you're going to do is, here we go to the employee IMP, the same thing. Implements employee service. Now here, what are the things you have to implement it? The implements task service. So implement that, it passing to the error. You click on this bulb symbol, it asks to implement the method which is add task. This method is inside here. So you have create the method. This method we have to implement it over here. That's it. Very simple. When the request is coming from the front end, it passing to the controller passing to the service interface pass to the service IMPL. This is how the flow works, right? Now the IMPL pass add the data into the database via with the repo. So we have to tell to the repo. So over here also we have what you're going to do is we have to whatever what you're going to do is you're passing to the repo. So what you're going to do is here the same thing. What I did here, the employee service IMPL, the same thing. We have to also write it. So private task repo task. That's it. That's the thing. We have to write it. Perfect. Very simple. I hope you understood the things well. I'll see you in my next video tutorial. Thank you. Hi, welcome back. In our last video, we have stopped from here. Let's continue the video. Now here we have to do another small things we have to forget it. So go to the before at the task. This is must. Go to the task save detail. Here this is save detail. This this how the record is coming from the front end. This data is coming from the front end and this format. This one passing to our controller passing to the service to service IMPL. That's how the data will be coming. So here we made a small mistake over here. This one we have to make it as we have to create as not an object we have to create as this one as a long you have to create as a this one as a employee ID. You have to create employee ID. This is a foreign key, right? Okay, so employee table there is ID, the task table there is employee ID. So the same thing we just copy this. The update task update also we have to make it here, right? So when you save the data and update data, we have to make the ID over here. When you get all the data, so we have a collection of employee, we have to get it over here. It says task DTO, we have to get it as a collection of employees. So that we have to pass the employee object over here. We have collection of employee we are getting. Here only we need a ID only. When you save the data, only need a employee particular ID. When the employee at the task, so what is the you have to select the particular employee ID. The one employee as many tasks. So that particular employee ID only we will be able to enter over here, right? So we have to go to the application properties. So you have to create the table again. You have to create, again you have to run it and check whether is there any errors. If you make any changes, you run it back, right? So sorry, so you make some error here because here we haven't written. In the last video, when you save the task, so we have to here we are passing to the service, so we have to return the task ID. That's it. So this how we have. That's why when you run the project, it will be telling the error. So that things, and we have to go to the task IMPL here also. This one I comment it, right? So let's run it. Right now you can see here. Right now here the project is running successfully. It's no problem. Now you go to here, you can refresh it. You have here, you can refresh it. You can see the student table and task table has been created. You can see the columns, right? Here this is employee ID. Here this is employee ID. Here it's selected here. Task ID, description, task name, employee ID is complete. So that all the columns are created successfully. Perfect. Right. Now what you're going to do is, now let's go to our employee service. We have to add another method over here, right? What is the task you are adding? We have to find the employee ID. We have to find the particular employee ID. So what you're going to do is, here we have to type it here, employee We have to create the method get employee long this side, which ID? This side, employee ID. Copy it, paste it over here. When you register the task, we need an employee ID. So we have to implement this function get employee. Right. So here, this we have to implement that into this method into our employee service IAM. We have to go to the employee service IAM here. Click on here. There's a bulb symbol. You click on the implement the method. You have create the new method which is a get employee. Right. We have implemented successfully. Now what you're going to see here, I have to find it. So we have to write return. We have to find through employee repo dot. There is a find by ID. Here student. Here we have to write a employee ID. This employee ID. So your employee ID dot get. We are using the get. You have to this one we don't need. Right. What I did here is, what is the employee ID? When you add the task, we need an employee ID. So the one employee has many tasks. So that we have to create this function. Right. So the here you can go to the save detail. You can see here. Here task name, description, and complete. Here there are many employees IDs are there. What is the employee ID you are selected? Here what you are it is the service. The employee ID is coming here, and here get the employee ID. It is find it from the database table. The help of repo. Repo it consists of the predefined method find by ID. That method easily find the employee ID. If the employee IDs exist or not. If the employee IDs exist, it will be find in the particular employee data. If you are dot get mean, it will be get the data. So that's how we have write it okay. Right? Okay. I hope you understand that. That's why I have created this method. So we have to add the data. Right. So here you can see here now. You can go here. Now I have to auto-where this one. I have to remove the command. Right. So here task repo. Right. This is how we are communicate with the database. Task service will be communicate with the database through the task repo. Right. Now here what you're going to do is you simply we have to write it over here employee. This is the entity. It's employee entity. Right. So the repo it will be communicate with the database through the entity format. So employee, create the object employee equal. So the employee equal. Now here the first ID. You have to find the ID. So here you have to write it here. You have to auto-add private employee service. You have to create the object employee service. Right. This employee service you have to write it over here. Dot employee service. There is a method get employee. This method. Which method? This get employee. Right. What's the ID is coming here? You're typing here. You have to get it. After that you write task save DTO dot get employee ID. You have to get the get employee ID. Right. It's a get employee here. You can see the get employee ID. That this get employee ID means this one. This get employee ID. Right. Okay. So what is the ID you are typing on the front end? When you save the data, here all the things are filled. What's the employee ID you are typing here? It is getting here. That's why you have to implement the because this is the employee and task. So we have to merge the table to find the data. So we have to write here employee service get task save DTO. You have to get dot. We have to here there is a method which is a get employee ID. Right. After that, what you're going to do is here. Now you have write the task, this entity. Task, you have create the object equal new task. You have create the object task, this you have create the object task. Now we have to add the data to the database table via the entity. So here we have to call this entity, we have to create the object, entity format object. Now the data is we are passing through the DTO format. So here this is DTO format, right? So DTO format, save DTO dot first one is a task name, comma, second one is a get task description. After that, task save DTO dot get task get complete. After that, we have to pass this employee. Here, this employee. Employee means here this one. What's the employee ID? Typing on here. Here, what's the employee ID you're typing here? Right? Here, what's the employee ID you're typing here? You're getting it over here. Right? We can't get it directly. Here we have to create the method on the employee service, which is a get employee method. That method will be finding the particular ID, which ID is coming here, which ID is coming here. It will be passing this object here to pass it over here. That's how we are finding the ID. Right. That's it. After that, what you're going to do is now we have to save the data into the database. So how to save? We have set to all the data as a DTO format. We have to create the object of entity over here. Now there is things which is a repo. So the employee repo you have created over here. The task repo, sorry, the task repo. So task repo. You type task repo. Task repo. There's a predefined method save. This method is not pop up. There should be the issues. Go to the task repo. The problem is here. I haven't created anything else here. I just have created the interface only. So here, very simple. The simple stuff is all things you just copy the employee repo. Employee repo extend JPA repository. The same thing here right here. Extends JPA repository. Here right. What the things here right over here? The entity and the data type. The entity which entity? Task and this is a long. So you have to write the long. If it is end, you have to put here as a int. So you have to comma long. Right. This is the J code. This is the query part. If you write this JPA repository, you will be able to write the queries. So here I already show. You press control key and click on this here. All the methods should be there. All the CRUD operation methods should be there. Right. So back to here. You have right here. Tasks report or save. Now here it is coming. It is pop up. Select this one. This method, the task, this task entity object, you have to paste it over here. That's the thing you have to write. After that, after you have created the task, I have to return. Let me return the task name instead of the task ID. So you have to write task get task name. You have to task get task name. Right? So you have to return here. Here also you have to go to our task controller. Here also task name. You have to draw the here star, not task ID. You have to write task name. Right? That's it. That's the thing you have to write. I hope you guys you understood the things well. Right? So I hope you understood things well. I'll see you in my next video lecture. Thank you.